The Ultimates return. The new arc starts here. After their intense battle with the Kingpin, Green Goblin and Spider-Man both know they aren't as ready to reshape the world as they hope. Harry and Peter get to work while Ben and Jonah work on the truth, and problems for their resistance arise when the Ultimates return. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3, Issue 7. 20 years ago, the Maker prevented a radioactive spider from biting a young Peter Parker. He likewise prevented the creation of any other superheroes and formed a secret council to rule the world from the shadows. 6 months ago, Tony Stark sent Peter that same radioactive spider along with a Picotech suit and warnings of the Maker's Council, a shadow organization that rules the world. Since then, Peter has used the incredible powers granted by the spider's bite to fight crime. Fighting alongside Peter is the Green Goblin, aka Harry Osborn, who learned the truth of the world and how his parents died at the hands of the Maker's Council when his company Oscorp bought Stain Stark Industries at the behest of William Fisk, the kingpin of New York and a subordinate of the Maker's Council. At the Oscorp building, Dr. Otto Octavius is working on the Green Goblin suit. He says, "It's a beautiful thing, don't you think?" Harry Osborn explains to Peter who Dr. Octavius is. Harry says this is Otto Octavius. He graduated from high school at 12 and earned his master's degree by 16. After that, he was handpicked by my dad to be a research resident. Big brain dad, said Otto, reminded him a lot of me if I actually had work ethic, was reliable, and had anything remotely resembling above average intelligence. Norman Osborn was not kind to his son. Otto responds, "Come on, Harry, you know that's not true mostly." As for the suit, Otto continues, "This thing is so well designed, complicated but elegant. I do not think I finally wrapped my hands around it." Harry needs Otto to explain him how the suit works and how to best utilize it. Otto Octavius says, "So here's where we're at. Your suits are both Stark tech, but they're still built using two completely different types of engineering. Call it Stark 1.0 and Stark 2.0. Harry, your suit is essentially a dedicated piece of very sophisticated hardware. Top of the line, flawless, constructed, pressed. I'd actually call it the perfect war machine. I mean, it's more than that. Sure, navigation, propulsion, and onboard AI, but as a piece of tech, I can get inside it and customize it to whatever you want. We own it now, top to bottom, back to front. But this Picotech suit of yours, Spider-Man, it's beyond that. Highly adaptable, transformable, and well, that's going to take a bit more time." Peter Parker is cautious of Dr. Otto Octavius, but Harry Osborn vouches for him, saying, "You'll see." Dr. Octavius continues, "So both suits run the same network. They don't have to. They can operate independently, but while they do, they subject to network commands, which is how Harry shuts off your suit the first time the two of you met. But here's the amazing thing about the suits. Up until now, they've both been running in some kind of safe mode. They actually have an onboard AI that you can use for anything. Combat analysis, life support, any kind of higher fusion problem solving, really. We just need to turn them on and give them a profile to map." Dr. Octavius explains, "Yes, think of it as a personality, but it's more than that, more like a base level consciousness. I prepared several archetypes to choose from: Napoleon, Lincoln, Caesar, Gandhi. I've even made one of me should you be inclined. So what will it be?" Peter, however, opts not to choose any pre-made profile, instead deciding that the suit will copy and profile his own brain patterns. Dr. Octavius then turns to Harry and asks him which profile he wants. Harry, after a moment of thought, asks, "If you had enough data, can you construct a profile from historical personal record?" When Dr. Octavius confirms that he can, Harry makes his decision. "I want my dad," he says, choosing to have Norman Osborn as the AI profile in the Green Goblin suit. At the offices of the paper, Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy Osborn walk down the street. Gwen says, "You know, there's this thing that dead things do where after a while, all that's left are the bones, right?" Mary Jane responds, "You know, most people know better than to judge a book by its cover. I think you'll be surprised with what we've done." Gwen, curious but skeptical, says, "All right, after you. Let's see what my money's bought me." When they arrive, they find the door locked and a note attached. Mary Jane reads it out loud. "They're not here. The door's locked. They left a note." The note says, "Sorry, had to run out. Gwen Stacy has bought and funded the paper, which is now run by J. Jonah Jameson and and Ben Parker. We pick up with Jonah Jameson and Ben Parker as they arrive at a shady little parking garage. The setting very cloak and dagger, all very secretive. They're light-heartedly making fun of the situation, but the mood shifts when they're handed an envelope. Opening it, they quickly realize that it's no small matter. The person playing the cloak and dagger role turns out to be Robbie Robertson, someone who used to work with them at the Bugle. Robbie isn't allowed to publish the story himself. He's afraid of who might be watching, of who might be looking, so he's handing it over to Ben and Jonah to follow up on. But there's more. Robbie agrees to be their inside man. While he may eventually join their side officially, for now he's going to act as their spy on the inside. Ben Parker halfingly jokes, "Well, Mr. Robinson, I gotta say I'm a little shocked at what a scoundrel you've become." J. Jonah Jameson quickly adds with a grin, "What Ben means is he's never been more proud, and I have to say I agree." Next, we move to a meeting between Captain Britain and Wilson Fisk. Captain Britain admits that Fisk was right. The situation has grown into a much larger problem than he initially believed, a lesson he recently learned as seen in Ultimates issue #1. However, Captain Britain says he has a solution and comes bearing gifts, an entire team of agents of Bullseyes. He admits it embarrasses him that he lacks a more subtle approach, but he supposes there are worse ideas than throwing numbers at a problem. When Wilson Fisk is offered this gift, he declines, confidently stating that he knows his adversaries, knows they can be beaten, and knows how to do it on his own terms. When asked about his plan to handle the situation, Fisk responds that it's not just one plan, but 6 of them, referring to the formation of the new Sinister Six. Later, we open with Spider-Man landing a right hook on the Green Goblin, who responds, "Not gonna lie, I felt that, Spider-Man," then offers the Green Goblin a hand to help him up from the floor. The Green Goblin accepts Spider-Man's hand and he turns to Otto Octavius asking, "You get what you needed?" Otto replies, "I think so." Now we have a baseline for performance and tactical scenario. The next step is activating the suits, AIs, and recording any changes in functionality. But just to be clear, once they're on, they're on. I'm pretty sure we have to completely reboot the suit to turn them off for good. Understand? Both Spider-Man and the Green Goblin agree as the activation of the AI shocks both heroes. The artificial intelligence profiles have been uploaded. Harry Osborn's AI says, "All right, son, show me what you're made of." The Green Goblin interprets this and tells Peter, "Hey, Pete, sorry about this, but my father says I have to kick your ass now." Peter Parker's profile, which is based on himself, responds, "Speaking of dad, you know who's a good one? We are. Just the best. Love those kids, and both of their birthdays are coming up. We should get them something really good. I bet Harry's dad gave the worst presents. You should take it easy on him." Spider-Man then says, "You know what, Harry? Maybe this isn't the best idea." The Green Goblin looks straight at Spider-Man and replies, No, we're doing this. Hit me." The fight begins and Spider-Man says, "Remember, you asked for it." He dodges the first punch and leaves his hand open, allowing the Green Goblin to grab it and pull him in close for 2 roundhouse punches. The AI version of Norman Osborn guiding Harry approves of the violence, saying, "Good, good." The AI of Norman Osborn continues. A fight isn't won after one good punch. As Spider-Man falls back, he quickly uses webbing to sling himself right back at the Green Goblin, pulling him closer to deliver 2 roundhouse punches of his own. The AI relentlessly advises the Green Goblin, warning him, "Never let your guard down. There's always someone out there trying to beat you, hurt you, take everything from you. They killed me. What do you think they'll do to you?" It then berates Harry Osborn, calling him soft, soft, soft. The AI, much like the real Norman Osborn, uses poisonous words to manipulate and demonize his son. The fight escalates as the Green Goblin fires lasers at Spider-Man, who skillfully dodges them using his spider senses and counters with another hit. However, the constant barrage of manipulated words from the AI of Norman Osborn starts to take the toll on Harry Osborn's mind. The AI taunts, "Soft, I always wondered just how weak you are, Harry. I'm beginning to think I know. You're not avenging me, son. You're embarrassing me." These heavy words are designed to break Harry down, pushing him further into his father's toxic influence. The Green Goblin unleashes a massive blast from his chest, reminiscent of Iron Man's suit, sending Spider-Man crashing into some crates. Spider-Man winces and says, "That hurt. We okay, you think?" His AI, with a touch of concern, responds, "Our diagnostics are within acceptable levels. We'll be fine, but he needs therapy." Harry Osborn, seeking approval, asks the Norman Osborn AI. Well, Dad, how is that? The AI coldly replies, acceptable. Dr. Octavius says, oh, that's odd. I'm picking up on a third carrier signal. Something's not right. The Green Goblin turns to Spider-Man and asks, you okay? Need a hand? Spider-Man replies, oh, now you go easy on me? Harry says, hey, don't act like you didn't get a couple of good hits in, but sorry if I went a little overboard. Just then, suddenly, Dr. Octavius shouts, we have a problem. That's a third carrier wave, another signal on the Stark network. I try to lock it down, but there's a back door and it's active. Someone else is on the network. The third carrier on the network is none other than the Iron Lad. He says, I told you I'd be back in 6 months, and here I am. I just have one question for you. Are you a hero yet? Iron Lad had previously sent a message to Peter Parker promising to return in 6 months to check on him. Peter Parker as Spider-Man has always been the Maker's #1 concern. The Maker from his experiences knows that Peter Parker Spider-Man changes everything. In alternate what-if scenarios, we see that a world without Spider-Man is vastly different. We also know from the Ultimates and even from Ultimate Spider-Man issues that gaining powers doesn't automatically make someone a superhero. They need a catalyst, something that pushes them to become a hero. Now, Iron Lad is here to see if Peter Parker has become that hero yet. Next, Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 3, Issue 8.